Thank you very much for coming. Yeah, totally in the wrong places. Give me 1 second. And yeah, tonight we have Jesus UnFollower with us, Kevin. And thanks everybody for coming back. I know we were streaming earlier, and welcome back again. So tonight we're going to have a chat with Jesus UnFollower, or Kevin. I'd say it's a new small channel, but you're a new up and coming big enough channel, man. Now what, you're over 1,500, coming up in 1,500, nearly 2,000, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, about 17 something.
Yeah, doing real well. So if you want to give everyone a wee synopsis, who you are, where they can find them, links are in the description. And Kevin, I'll hand over to you.
Yeah, so I'm at Jesus UnFollower everywhere, pretty much. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and then my channel here, Jesus UnFollower. I have a podcast too, which is mostly just the audio from my YouTube videos, but some of them are separate, their own podcast. So if you prefer to listen, you can find me there too.
It's handy brand everywhere.
Yeah. I was like, what? You know, a lot of Christians will have Jesus follower in their bios. Jesus follower. You see it all the time, or on dating apps, or wherever you might find yourself. You know, you'll say Jesus follower, Jesus follower.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, I'm gonna, because I had started my Instagram account in 2019, but I called it something else. But I wanted to make memes and stuff about religion.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually I got to a point I was like, I'm going to be Jesus UnFollower, because it makes sense. You look at the handle and you immediately know that I think most people would assume that I used to be a Christian and now I'm not. And that's kind of what I'm going for. When you look at my name, that's kind of what you get, you know.
Well, that's pretty much the first question I always ask here, is how you came about with coming onto the internet and stuff. So you're making a 2019 sort of time. So Instagram was the first one you started before YouTube, before all the rest of them and things like that. And did it take you long to get to that from your deconversion, or was the deconversion in around 2019? This was a reaction to your deconversion.
Yeah, I deconverted back in 2009. So there was like a solid decade of not really doing anything, kind of being indifferent about it all, you know?
Yeah.
When you first leave religion, you sort of have mixed feelings, or you go through all the stages of anger and feeling like you were betrayed in a way, but it's like people weren't really doing that intentionally, because they really believed the stuff, you know, but you know, I kind of just became indifferent. I was like, whatever, people believe what they want, I don't believe it. And then I kind of got thrust back into it, because I started dating someone who was religious in 2019. And our relationship ended, and it was mainly because of our difference in beliefs. And so I was kind of just like back in that whole like,
no, I can feel that. Yeah, you're having
had enough.
Yeah, lashing out. Fuck this. Someone needs to blame. I'm going to take fun of this and sort of.
Right.
Yeah. Well, everybody deals with things in different ways, but no. I can totally understand that you have to lash out and get it out of your system, so to speak. It's how everyone would get past that. So that's how the Instagram, and then you went from Instagram to Twitter, I assume, and then on to YouTube.
Yeah. I went from Instagram, and then I started my podcast in like March of 2020. So I started with that after Instagram, podcasting and stuff, because I had done a podcast in the past. I was familiar with doing it and stuff. So that's where I started. But then I was like, I really think I need to be on YouTube, just because of seeing how many people are on here, like how many atheist activists and how many channels, how many people do the like live streaming on YouTube. I thought, you know, I really need to be there. And so there was probably about 6 months of me podcasting, but not really on YouTube much yet. I put a couple of videos up, but I didn't really start being consistent here until like September or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Whenever you came to YouTube, who stood out to you? Was there anyone in particular you found first or jumped out, or was there someone you found down the line where like, you know, I can do it better than them, or an inspiration to you?
It's kind of funny, like I've been an atheist since 2009, and I never watched the Atheist Experience once in my life until October of 2019. Didn't know what it was.
That's the one.
Had no idea.
Yeah. Most people, when they come into it, they find that like.
Yeah. So I think I went through my breakup, and then I went on a YouTube binge of just putting like, you know, Christians and atheists dating, and I just started watching more videos and finding more stuff, and I stumbled across Atheist Experience, and then watched, God, I don't know how many fucking episodes in a row of that, you know, and then I, you know, kind of branched out and found some more people, Mr. Atheist or whatever, Jimmy Snow, and a bunch of people. You know, I've known about Jacqueline Glenn for a long time. I liked watching her stuff back in the day, but her content's not all like atheist stuff. But yeah, I just thought, you know, I don't know that I could really do anything better, but maybe a little bit different. I know that I bring up living in the Bible Belt. Used to be a Christian, and now I'm not. You know, living in this area can be challenging for atheists. So I thought, you know, I can kind of bring that angle to it. You know, I didn't really see a whole lot of people.
You're funny. You're also funny. That's something I found in your videos as well, is you have that comedy twist. You know, it's something that I've known of you for a while. I think we interacted maybe once or twice in a live stream, said hello back and forth or whatever,
Yeah.
and I've mentioned I was going to get you on. But after you did, I wouldn't say it's your last video now, I think it's 2 videos ago, because you've been pumping out loads of stuff this week, people. If you haven't, I think it's like 150 videos or something you're going to have to watch to catch up on. Like, but
Yeah, you gotta watch them. You have to watch them all back to back.
Yeah,
Everybody has to,
yeah.
you know, you start with number 1 and you don't stop until you get through every single video.
The video that, you know, the video I'm talking about, we mentioned just before live stream. Where the fuck, right? If you can, give people like give people a line or two from it, the video. And
Yeah.
Where the fuck did you find that mad motherfucker? Like,
Yeah, I made one of my recent videos was about these worship leaders. I don't know if they're really worship leaders or pastors who they start singing in the Holy Spirit or whatever. And I saw these videos. I saw both of them on TikTok, actually, is where I discovered them. A couple of people tagged me and I'm like, look at this guy. And so this one guy just starts talking about how Jesus is decapitating his enemies and stuff while he's giving him a hug. Like, yeah, gently. Like, Jesus is hugging on me and decapitating my enemies simultaneously. And I'm like, what is this? And then there's another guy who's talking about like prehistoric, like saber-toothed tigers, how they have teeth in their pictures and it looks like they're angry or something, but they're supposed to be eating plants for God's glory. I don't know. But I try to bring some comedy to it a little bit, because I think that, well, if you go to my YouTube channel and you look at the banner, I changed it recently and it says religion is heavy, let's laugh about it, because I think that there are a lot of people like Atheist Experience or like debates and call-in shows and all that are really needed, very needed. But, you know, also they can be pretty serious on the subject. And sometimes people need to laugh about the shit that they've either been through or that they see going on in the world. And that's kind of where I'm trying to carve out a little place for myself, you know.
No, well, it's true, man. You know, and I find with comedy as well, you know, I speak it as I see it and things like that, and sometimes I'm funny and sometimes I'm not, but comedy is definitely a route that you can go down, a serious conversation. It opens up, you know, a serious conversation. If you've mentioned you're going to be more in live streams and things like that, and you know, having the comedy aspect from that, I think will definitely help you in moving forward to have conversations, especially if you're going into the Christian route and things like that. Because if you're dead serious and you're always in that mode of the AXP sort of mode, or, you know, the aggression debate sort of mode, you're going to end up hitting a brick wall. People aren't going to want to come and talk to you. You want to be able to have a laugh at yourself, you know, self-deprecating humor and things like that there. If you can't laugh at yourself...
It's my specialty.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah. You know, if you can't laugh at yourself, who the fuck are you going to laugh about? You need they're serious topics. They are serious topics, and they do lead down the route of, you know, political routes, laws being changed, people losing track with their families, their mothers, their fathers, their sons and daughters and things like that. So these do influence it. But we aren't going to talk about it if it's always fucking serious. We do need a laugh. We do need a giggle. And coming from seeing what videos is there in your live streams and stuff like that, definitely can see a comedy giggle in you. And I think it's going to, it definitely will help. Definitely will help. Like.
Good. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's, and different times call for different stuff. Some people, I mean, the serious conversations need to be had, and I have them too. Yeah. Some of my videos are more serious. Some of my content is more serious too. But I also just think, I try not to take myself too seriously, you know, because I'm not as smart as a lot of the people. I haven't really, you know, like I said, I was indifferent for a long time. So it's not like I've read a whole lot of books about religion, about atheism and philosophy or anything like that. You know, I don't really know a shitload about science, but I can crack some jokes about it. You know, I'll leave that stuff up to the people who know what the hell they're talking about. I know enough to say I don't believe in God, and you don't really have any proof for him. and I can make fun of Kenneth Copeland, I can do that. You know, that's more of my area of expertise.
There has to be routes for people to keep these conversations going, you know, and we're trying to break barriers and, you know, influence people back and forth. And having that side and things like that there, as you say, man, you know, you're an entertainer, you're a conversationalist, you're a good host, you can keep a conversation going. That's a hard skill to have, you know, it's a hard skill to keep going and things like that. And sometimes people say crazy shit, and if you can just turn around and go, well, farts and giggles and get a laugh out of it, then everybody relaxes again, you know, and the conversation can flow on. So there's definitely needs from every section of the community, but it's definitely nice to have you come in to the community and be part of it. I don't know how many people in the chat. I know Jade the Atheist may have known of you and a few other people, but anybody who hasn't known of Kevin, definitely the links are in the chat. If anyone can post them in the live chat, sorry, the links are in the description. If anyone can post them in the live chat or anything like that, that would be great. Definitely give him a sub, give him a like, and yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, of course, man.
Yeah. Hop by the channel, say hello, say what's up, leave me a comment, tell me that I'm a dick. If you think I'm a dick, tell me that I look stupid. I don't care. Just
I'm guessing there's a merch store and all know that, because you've got the hat going, you've got the t-shirt going, merch and all. Like,
yeah, this is not my shirt. Somebody sent me this shirt, actually. One of my patrons sent me the shirt. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I've made this hat, so if anybody wants to get that, they can.
And fucking Jay's giving me shit. I don't know if you know of Jay Pasick. MathPig doing what MathPig does, platforming atheists. Go look back 2 fucking weeks ago. We had John on from Apocalypse here, and we had a very good conversation. He's a Christian. Spartan's always about, you know, the audience generally here would have an awful lot of Christians in them back and forth, and I do think that's appreciative that people feel that they can come here and have the banter. Fuck you, Jay. He lives in the basement. Don't listen to Jay. Don't listen to Jay. Do check out Jay's channel as well, though.
I don't know you, Jay, but fuck you. Yeah, I agree with MathPig.
yeah. I was going to admit, no, I'm not going down that route. I'm not going down that route. So, from your interactions, a question I wanted to ask, have you had any mad, crazy Christians in your comments giving you dogs abuse and things like that, or... what is the maddest, craziest, you know, sort of thing that you've seen in your comments now? Because as I say, you have at least 150 videos, and I'm sure you've got some feedback.
Yeah, usually on my live streams, toward the end of them, I'll start reading off some of those comments that I get, which is always fun. But one lady called me a demon one time. She said that I have people tell me that Satan is my father all the time. You know, your dad is Satan. You know that, right? And this one lady, she said that I was an actual demon. There was a demon living inside of me. And that was kind of fun. I think I'm going to probably print that one out and frame it. I'm literally right now, I'm dealing with somebody on Twitter whose handle is @WrathOfGod. So you can probably gauge that they're a pretty sane person. Very nice. Their little thing at the top says repent. But he's going off on me right now, saying, "How do you know that you're right?" And I said, "I don't." And then he says, "Well, I do know that I'm right. I know God. I know that I'm right." And so you're obviously showing a little bit of doubt that you don't say that you know that you're right. It's just the craziest thing. So I'm like, either this person
a guy like that, right? A person like that, especially on the platform of Twitter. Everybody who knows here knows my hatred of Twitter. I would just be like, that person's not worth the time, because that person is out there with a goal, with an intention that is not open conversation. Thank you very much. Not There Yet has just put a comment in the chat. I'm a Christian, but I never feel angry or hateful in any of these discussions. So, you know, that's the sort of people we're looking to talk to. It's the sort of people that we look to have these conversations with, because they are open to... You know, I wouldn't say go so far as changing their mind, but being open to my opinion. Because I have a difference of opinion with you doesn't mean we have to disagree. Yeah.
And some people are a complete lost cause. Like you said, it's, you know, I know that arguing with Wrath of God is not going to get me anywhere. But sometimes it's also fun as hell.
Yeah. It's fun. See, that's entertainment for you. That's entertainment for him. You know, it's not going to go anywhere. His profile picture is literally a picture of someone burning in hell. Like they're screaming in agony, and there are flames like up around their chest. So, you know, the conversation's not going to go anywhere with a person like that. But it's still fun to try to make points and trip them up a little bit. And then if they keep on, or they don't want to have a conversation, then that's when you kind of get into fuck you territory. You know, for me anyway. Yeah, no, I can understand that. But I just don't. if the end goal is just, I don't know, I just hate Twitter. I just fucking hate Twitter.
It's crazy. Like some of the craziest comments I get are on TikTok too. But a lot of those are, I try not to argue
can
with.
I ask what age you roughly?
What's that?
Age bracket for you being on TikTok.
Oh, I'm 38.
Oh, you're the same age as me. I'm 38 in like 2 weeks, but
yeah, I just turned 38 a few weeks ago.
How is atheist Christian TikTok? I feel the need. When TikTok came to my attention, it was another father asking me my opinion. Now his child was 11 and asked, wanted to join TikTok. It was a wee while back. It's maybe, when it first came out or whatever. And it was another father asking me my opinion on it. Never heard of it. He brought it to my attention. And it's always in my mind going to be that first conversation, which was young girls doing this on TikTok and men and stuff. And there was articles about it and things like that. And I've never went to TikTok. I've never really looked at it. And I know there is that now divide. It's progressed. There's atheists back and forth and stuff. So how do you find TikTok from this point of view, from the atheist creator point of view? Or do you go on it for shits and giggles?
Kind of both. I went on there before the pandemic, just kind of for shits and giggles, because I liked Vine back in the day. I know it's supposed to be. I
remember Vine. I made a few Vine videos. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know it's supposed to be kind of similar, and so I got on there, and then I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then I started my account mainly to like promote my podcast and stuff, like put little clips from it there. And then I realized that there were a good many atheists there who were making their own stuff, and so I started doing that too, and it's kind of right up my alley. I like making little short videos, stupid things, using the sounds or whatever, but there has to be some voices of reason there to balance out the crazies, because there are a lot of crazies there, people who are like looking right into the camera and they have it right up to their face and they're like, you're going to hell, and so there has to be people like
your 7-Eleven short was very funny. I don't know if you've ever
yeah.
Have you seen the Scottish people in the elevator? That's what it made me remind of. It's Scottish people in an elevator that can't recognize their accent, and they keep saying 11, and it just was it reminded me of that, and it was very, very funny. It was very funny.
Oh
definitely.
yeah,
for a wee short video.
Like a trending sound on TikTok, so I'll just jump on there and put like a little twist on it that has something to do with religion usually, and sometimes videos will blow up, and that's when you get the people who are telling you that you don't know what you're talking about or whatever. It's like every other platform, man. I mean, YouTube, there are YouTube comments like that. There are Instagram comments like that. Twitter.
Do you have
there are toxic people everywhere.
Particular platform that you prefer to have? Like, do you have a particular one that you would prefer? We'll just leave it at that, and you can give your reasons why.
I like TikTok because I feel like you can grow pretty quick there and connect with people there. Like, you can see videos from people that you're not following, which means that people can see your videos even if they're not following you, and so you can kind of reach more people there. But I guess I'm a little partial to Instagram too, because I've been there from the start of this whole thing, and I've made a lot of friends there and connections over there, so I enjoy it. I try to split my time between a lot of them, but it's hard jumping back and forth between all these platforms while also trying to make YouTube videos and stuff. I'm like, damn.
Sorry, just giving some attention to somebody in the chat that doesn't deserve it. But yeah, as I said earlier, anybody wants to go and see an interview with a Christian on the channel, check back just 17th of June, not too long ago, not even a month ago. So yeah, moving forward, man. Crazy people in the chats, crazy people in TikTok, crazy people fucking everywhere.
Everywhere.
Problems that you see with the atheist community. Again, I don't like Twitter. There's an awful lot of back and forths going on at Twitter at the minute, and you would be, as I say, you're more active on it than I would be. But from what I can see, there is different sections of atheists attacking each other and different things that I would see as silliness on, does Jesus actually exist, or does he not exist, or did he exist, or did he not exist as a man, or whatever, and things like this, and back and forth. And what do you see problems that is happening at the minute? Am I in agreement with you? Do you see, like, I'm not going to say what is the cure for it, and I'm not going to say let's pick out names, but you get where I'm going with this. Like, it's a problem I'm seeing, man. You're only in the community, I say you're only in the community, but less than a year or so, and you know, from someone that's new coming in, what do you see as a wider thing with the atheist community? What are you seeing from a new person coming into this? Is it something you want to be part of as a wider thing? Is it something you're like, I like these and don't like that? Or, you know?
I think I don't like and not a lot of people do this, but I see people saying that religion is a mental illness, or using the term religiotards, religiotards and stuff like that. That kind of stuff I don't like. You know, I'm not really here to tell people you're wrong. I think a lot of people do that. Yeah. Will, you know, say you're wrong, you're absolutely wrong and stuff. But I think it's better to have more conversations with people instead of trying to do that. I do like that atheists, like, there's not like it's not like the church where there are atheist leaders necessarily, or like a hierarchy. We'll call people out on their shit. Obviously, with the Richard Dawkins stuff that's been happening lately. There is people that do get
fucking put on pedestals, though, you know.
There is.
It's quite funny in reference to two different sections of people who do be on the internet and in the scene and sort of things like that. Earlier in a conversation, one person was like, I will not define myself by what any other atheist group says, regardless of their fucking YouTube channel. And then later on in the conversation, defined himself by the Dawkins scale, and I nearly wet myself with laughter.
Yeah.
You know, so there is people that have different, you know. Personally, I don't fangirl over anybody. I think everybody has their own fucking problems. Everybody has their own way of doing things. You know, the reason I'm here is because I think I can do it the best. So I'm up my own ass and I'm fantastic and this is my way of doing it and I'm going to do it this way. You know, if I thought somebody was fucking better, I'd be at their channel right now praising and shouting at them.
There you go. Yeah, everybody's got their thing to contribute, I think, in some way. You know, the content that I make, some people will not like it at all or think it's stupid, pointless, whatever. But some people might love it. And then that goes the same for everybody else. Any other channel, it's going to be like that. People are going to like your content or they're not. They're going to like what you have to say or not. They're going to respect you or not. So you just you got to do what you want to do, or what you think people might like, or what you think might reach the people that you're trying to reach. And that's about it.
Dealing with trolls, dealing with bad comments, dealing with people that, you know, I'm not going to, take it to an extreme and say, someone said this sort of threat about you or whatever. But you know, how do you find dealing with the comments and dealing with the onlineness yourself? As the channel grows, have you noticed that more people start to notice you, more people start to know who you are? The things that you say have more, I wouldn't say strength, but you're held more accountable for them. Again, right. I fall back in the comedy because it's like, it was a joke. But, you know, not to make a joke out of it's a joke, but, you know, anything I say here in the pigsty, it's a fucking pigsty. It's a pigsty for a reason. You know, I know that I'm wrong in a lot of things that I say. You get the fucking picture. You know, I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm trying to get a fucking point across. So, but how do you find it as the channel gets bigger and you're, more people would know you? Do you find that there's more feedback from the Christians, more bad rhetoric, more shit that you have to deal with? And if so, how do you deal with it?
Yeah, I think about it a lot. I haven't really had to deal with a whole lot of that, but I think about it now more, I guess, as I'm making stuff. Like, that the things that I say, whatever I say, are more likely to be held against me, or that somebody else will see it or whatever. And, you know, some of the videos that I make on YouTube end up reaching the Christian crowd, depending on what they're searching for on YouTube. So, of course, they're going to have things to say. Like, if I make a video about what I think is a false prophet, or, you know, somebody just talking out their ass, but then I get all the comments like, you don't know what you're talking about, it's biblically correct. And, you know, the stuff from the Christians, I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me if they want to crucify me. That doesn't really bother me. But I'm more mindful that the people, even the atheists, I don't want to say the wrong thing on some certain I try not to speak about things that I don't know about very well. So I try to keep myself in check that way, I guess. I don't want to.
There quite recently, again, as another shout out to not always interviewing atheists here. We had I think he referred to himself as an old Gnostic, a Neoplatonist was on the channel. I think that was actually last week or the week before, and he was on. He's defined himself as a theist. And we had him on. That was a very interesting conversation, sort of back and forth. A wee bit of presuppositionism and going back and forth. But yeah, it's nice to find that sort of stuff out and have these conversations. All right, I'm also
Yeah.
trying to schedule the after party, which you're still
Oh,
up for that. Yeah, a lot of fun
yeah.
people in the chat tonight. I think that the after party should be an entertaining night and fun enough. We will have upwards of 6 other spots available, including me and Kevin. So that'll be whoop whoop, yeah. That'll be happening in about half an hour or so, 32 minutes from now. So that's already there. If anyone wants to pop that in, yeah. How is your idea of philosophy, man? I know you said you haven't read many books back and forth, but watching AXP and watching an awful lot of online stuff, I would pick up an awful lot more. I wouldn't say more. It's good to read a book. Don't get me fucking wrong. Pick up a book, read it. I'm stuck in digital world at the minute because I can get them for free.
Me too.
They're free on digital. Don't fucking pirate, but it's free
Yeah.
when they're digital, you know. Get a book, buy a fucking book. But I would retain knowledge an awful lot better with both a video and a narration, with both a video and a text. It sticks in my head
Yeah.
better. So a lot of debates and things like that I would watch and stuff like that. Do you find any use in philosophy in a discussion? What is your thoughts on it? You know, it's personally from my point of view, I'll give it out there. Philosophy, I think, is very, very good as to use to find your own words to describe how you feel and where you want to position yourself. When you use philosophy moving forward, it comes with odds and this and all the rest of it. And I don't think it helps the conversation move forward mainstream wise. If you want to get into that conversation with somebody, that's great. You understand each other. It becomes semantic and all the rest of it. That's my opinion of it. And
I'm kind of in the same boat. It's more like basically when you're talking to somebody, just talk to them. It's more about understanding points of view, right? Than like whatever the philosophy of it itself.
Like a twisted street epistemology.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I like. Yeah. It's better to talk to the person, find out. I find more about the reason that you're here. The reason that we're interviewing you and the reason I'm asking you these questions is I feel now by the end of this night, after we've had this interview with just me and you and an open platform with other people coming in, I know more about you than if I asked you on Twitter, can you give me 6 labels that describe you?
Yeah.
The stories you're telling, your background you're coming from, you know, the interaction that we have, it gives a more nuanced idea of who the person is. You know, it's not... That's
exactly the word I was about to use. It's a nuanced thing. Like, you know, when you're actually sitting here talking to someone, you get a lot more of that. You can see the facial expressions and really like listen to what they're saying.
Tone,
yeah.
You know, and
for sure.
It gives an awful lot more to it. I don't find any fucking point or any benefit from bashing down labels because nobody is one label. Nobody is any one thing. Everybody is a fucking grey area. We're all little grey aliens. It's all a fucking big grey area.
I say that a lot. Like that labels are, like Jupiter just said in the chat, labels are stupid. I don't think they're all stupid necessarily, but they're not really as necessary as people act like they are. And if you want to label yourself, I think that's cool. If you don't, that's cool. If you want to call yourself an agnostic or whatever, and then somebody's over here like, well, that's not really what that word means. Who fucking cares? Just talk to the person and you'll find out what they mean.
Yeah, to be a little bit semantic and things like that, I find stereotypical is, you know, if you were going to describe something and tell a story about a particular part of a person, then using a stereotypical version of that to get the point across, even though it may be awful in certain circumstances, is very good to get that point across. It doesn't necessarily mean that that person is that stereotype, but that particular part of their personality, if you could imagine this, it gives a correlation. So stereotypes are very, very handy. Labels, I find if you give someone a label rather than describing a stereotypical part of themselves, it gives them sort of like a stamp. This is who they are. This is what they must be. And I don't find that in any way benefits anybody.
Right. Yeah, I guess it's better to not really speak for other people too much as to like be like, well, I think this is what their stance on it or whatever. Direct them to that person or something that person has actually said or whatever to try to, you know, not really speak too much for other people because everybody has a nuanced opinion of everything. Like, or their beliefs it's not black and white on everything. People have there's a lot of gray area there.
Just want to shout out to my Christian friend in the chat. Hi Spartan, thanks for coming out. I hope the babies are doing well. We'll be moving to the after party if you want to pop on for 5 minutes and cheat like you usually do and just flash the twins and go, I'm class, and then run away. But J Mike, thanks for coming in as well. And Uncle Jesus Real Bible Reading and everyone else who's here. Appreciate you all turning up. Jupit, really appreciate you turning up. I know Jupit doesn't be here that often. Jupit's one of my original Jupit is actually the very first person I ever invited to the very first Discord that I ever made, and that will be 3 years old in November coming. So wow, a lot of love for Jupiter. They're just they're real, they're true, and we used to call Jupiter our furry Cerberus because she's like Cerberus from the hell. But if you could pass them, then you were welcome in our club, so to speak. So a lot of love for Jupiter going out there.
Saw J Mike, I was watching you on Talk Heathen earlier with Matt Dillahunty, so that's pretty fucking cool to see you on there.
Good to move up the ranks, so to speak.
That's a smart dude. That J Mike, see, that's why I don't really talk a whole lot about a lot of biology, evolution, philosophy. That dude's got it on lock. He knows his stuff. I'm just like, I'll leave it to them. I'll stupid jokes. I'll talk about
and stuff like
Joel
that,
Osteen or something.
Shout out to BRAINBUG. I know BRAINBUG doesn't get off work for another hour and a half before he's off work and available. But shout out to BRAINBUG with the evolution and stuff like that. That man has a praying mantis that disco dances like this on his mic while he streams. He just like
that's cool.
Yeah, you can't get better than that. You know. I don't know, man. We've sort of bantered through everything. We've been having good crack. Usually you end up with a few awkward pauses. We haven't had any, and I've been chatting like mad all night. So is there anything you would like to ask me? Anything you would like to know about me, or anything you would like to add?
I've seen your channel. I've interacted with you a few times, but I didn't know how long have you been doing this? How long have you been on YouTube? Why did you start doing this? What led you to?
August this year, 1st of August, will be 2 years since the first video was streamed actually to the channel. Now, don't get me wrong, there was then August, I think one in September, but it was October before I bought the computer and could actually start streaming proper. The other videos before that, Patreons will be able to see them. They're called Fuck You OBS, Go Fuck Yourself OBS. It's me trying to figure it out and it's just not working at all. But I do celebrate on the 1st of August as the channel because it's also my birthday. So 1st of August, the channel will be going 2 years. I've been in the community since 2018. I think it was April 2018. And I like to talk to people. I like to get to know people. I want to know the more why than the what, to sort of steal the line from the Matrix. We know what decision was made. We want to know why the decision was made. And as the channel has grown and things like that, there's a wee bit of a community has grown around it. And I've been very, very lucky that the people who have joined it are in similar opinions of me, that if you should help someone, if you can help someone, you should help someone. We are... I think we've got a group of good people here, the regulars that come here, the 15, 20 people that sort of turn up. We've done help with people. I don't want to go down the line. People know the fucking shit. We help each other out. We're friends. It's not just a YouTube channel. We have the Discord on top of that. We have communication on top of that. And, I don't stream live all the time, but we do be hanging around. We do be talking. Dave, as I mentioned before, has given an awful lot to the community with the programming help. I do teaching and things like that. We've got science people in the community that are willing to help out with people learning. We've got, doctors in the community. We've this, and we've all this wide community of people that are just general good-hearted motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And, I never refer to this channel as my channel. It's always our channel.
Well, I like that.
There's always a group. That's why you read the description as tonight we have. It's never tonight I have. It's always tonight we have. It's, built something here, and I'm sort of happy enough with it. We could be doing more. We could be connecting together.
How often do you go live? I saw that you were live earlier, and I see
when
that
the channel first started going.
Do you have a schedule?
Yeah, when the channel was first starting going, I was going live Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. I think it was. Generally now, I will go once or twice a week, and it'll either be a Sunday night, Monday night, Wednesday night, or Thursday night. But it'll only be once or twice a week. It depends. Because I'm interviewing people, it sort of works around them. And these are the nights that I've always had. Generally, I try and stick to a Thursday. Thursday, I like open mic nights. I try and do an open mic night on a Thursday. We would bounce around ideas behind the scenes, and we would get both Catholic and, or I was going to say Catholic and Protestants. That's because it's National Protestant Day in fucking Northern Ireland. We would get both theist and non-theist and different points of view and pagans and stuff, and up to 9 people, have them on discussing everything from laws in society, trans rights, women's rights, laws in the Bibles, everything all over the place. Sometimes I do debates. I'd like to do more, not debates, but what I like to call them as formal discussions. Actual talks where it's an opening statement, then an hour of people chatting, and then you get a closing statement. You know, in between that opening period, I would let different people control the conversation, so to speak. You know, I like to go down that route rather than debating. I'd like to do more of that, but yeah, you know, no, that's where I'm aiming for. Hoping to be a non sequitur ripoff, you know, only doing it right.
So, are you an extrovert or introvert? Because for me, like, I stream once a week, and like, I feel like it zaps a lot of my energy, and I'm always looking at the people who stream a lot more and for longer, and like, well, where do you get that, or how do you recharge that battery? Because for me, I'm like, when I'm done, I'm like, I feel like I gotta recharge.
I don't sleep. I've been an insomniac from 11. I just keep going, man. As I say, when the channel started, I would do an hour stream, and then an hour and a half, 2 hours after party, and it would be 3 hours, 3 nights a week. That's like 9 hours a week. You know, it's like a yeah, you know, and it's got less and less as I've got more and more in real life and more wanting to have the crack with, you know, actual friends and stuff like that. Coming into the channel and coming into the community, you don't know everybody. Then you get to know people, and it's like, yeah, I want to hang out with you rather than just talk shit online, you know. So,
right.
But I prefer to talk. I feel more comfortable talking. As I mentioned to you, I have multiple screens. I feel better doing more things than I do feeling one. I got a day off today. I sat around all day and was like, what do I do with myself? I like to always be doing something. I like to always...
So what do you do?
I worked my way down through PBS Eons. I worked my way down through Vice Rhino, and I'm now working my way down through Microcosmos. I love to learn evolution at the minute, and biology and things like that is what I'm going down. My main passion would have been physics and astrophysics and things like that. That's what I went to university for a year to do. Long story short, didn't learn very well and left. But yeah, physics would be my love, but biology would have been a very second love. And now with evolution and the ability, please don't anybody time anyone out. Just if I can say, don't anyone time anyone out. All their comments go when they're timed out. I don't want them. I want the comments there. I want them to have the conversation. So please don't time anyone out.
I guess Darth doesn't look like being called Otangelo.
No, he doesn't. We don't actually say his name because we don't like to give it what we refer to here him as is asshole 104. So. Oh,
he gets the Voldemort treatment.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Voldemort treatment. So other than that, please don't time him out. Yeah. Lost my trail of thought there, man. But yeah, I'll hand it over to you.
Again, yeah, I love being on YouTube. It's fun. Like I like being. To me, there's like a different community on every social platform you're on. Like, from what I've noticed in my time on Instagram, I've connected with a lot of people who are either like actively deconstructing their Christianity now, or have recently come out of it. Maybe there's still even some that are still believers. Mm-hmm. You know, they might call themselves progressive Christians or whatever. So a lot more of those in the Instagram community versus, you know, on Twitter. It's mostly people who have already kind of deconverted and now call themselves atheists or whatever, and TikTok is like a hodgepodge of everything, and it's just cool. I like seeing what each platform, like who I interact with on each one.
Yeah, but what we'll do is I'm going to shout out to the chat if anyone has any questions they would like to ask either me or Kevin coming from the chat. And we flashback thing real short, talking about labels coming to the community and this, that and the other. When I first came in, I wasn't called MathPig, I was Math Magic Pagan. Math being love for science, pagan, magic being shit I've seen but can't explain, and pagan, I ain't no Christian. You know, I give myself my own fucking label. It's, yeah. Be yourselves, people. You know, just don't put a fucking label on it. Have a conversation with someone, have a talk with someone, and I think it's very, very more beneficial to actually find out the depth. I think it's also better to become friends with your enemies, so to speak. You know, I've always said this in the channel. I'll say this for you, Kevin. I'm aiming for a fucking Irish pub on a Friday night. Come down the back, play some darts, play some pool, get pissed, disagree with me, and if shit comes to knuckles, that's fine. Just buy me a pint next week and apologise for breaking my nose. You know, we're all friends. We can all disagree. It doesn't mean that we need to fall out with each other. So, Kevin, do a shill. Say a statement if there's anything you would like to make a point of. We will wait for a few questions, and then we will move to the after party, if that's okay.
Yeah. Sounds good to me, man. I like what Matt Dillahunty says about how I want to believe as many true things as possible and not believe as many false things as possible. I think that's cool. But yeah, I'm good for the after party. You can find me at JesusUnFollower on everything.
Yeah, it's great. I did the exact same. Brand the shit out of it, man. It just makes life easier at the start. It's also cheaper.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm just trying to find the link to the after party. It's here. There's the link there. So the link to the after party will be going into the chat in 1, 2, 3, and in the chat. We'll be moving over to there. Question from the African Humanist. The last time I heard his story, he hadn't told his family about being an atheist. Do they now know?
Well, my parents do. My sister does. She is not a Christian anymore. I'm not sure what she calls herself now. I think she still kind of thinks of herself as spiritual, but my brother, as far as I know, he doesn't know. He's like a pretty big Christian. I made a post a few months ago on Facebook where I was sort of came out atheist, for lack of a better term, just to say, you know, I'm an atheist. Here's what I believe or what I don't believe. And so I think that people saw it, but not everybody replied to it. So I don't know. So I've sort of like unofficially told everybody, as long as they saw the post. I think most people assume that I don't believe anymore. They know I don't go to church and stuff. So I think, you know, I did tell my parents, you know, and whether they actually think that I really don't believe or if they think I'm backsliding, that's a different story, you know.
Yeah, you can't be held responsible for their interaction, but you can only be honest with them. If they choose not to believe you or think that it's just because you want to sin or whatever, that's totally on them. You can just be honest with them.
Yeah, exactly. I can't control what they think about my situation. I can just do me. It's really about all there is to it.
We will give one other shout out to one other question in the chat, and then we will go to the after party. Asshole 104 wants to ask, will you defend your atheism on a live stream? I will offer to host that if you decide to take him up on that, Jesus UnFollower, Kevin. So,
I'm good. I don't know what's there to defend. I just don't believe in the crap that he claims. So I'm good. I don't have to defend anything. It's not like I'm out here saying, I know for a fact there's no God and all your shit's wrong. I don't care.
Doesn't care. And seeing as it's your after show, yeah, you don't care.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. So everyone on that, the after show link is in the chat. If anyone wants to bounce over with that, we will see how shit goes. People who would like to be on the after show, send me a Twitter message. Yeah. I'll send a link out to a few people. We'll see how crack goes. Maya, I'm going to tap you. You need to get in here, Maya. So, God the good one. Do you know God the good one?
I don't.
No, God the good one. Yeah, he's actual God. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah.
I definitely don't know God the good one.
D, I totally sent you the link. You're special. Red Fang, send me a link. You know where to get hold of me, right? So, on that, everybody, I want to thanks very much, especially to Kevin, who's come by tonight for the little interactions and back and forth, and really appreciate you coming on, man. And
thanks for having me
on. To conversation, was open to chat.
Yeah, it's good to talk with you outside of just text, you know, or whatever, outside of Twitter, outside of YouTube comments. So it's cool to actually have some back and forth.
So on that note, everyone else that has contributed to the channel as well financially, the Patreons, the members, I really do appreciate all of you. Don't forget, there's wee emojis you can make fun of. There's one that just totally makes fun of Dave, and it's just a sad face in a wheelchair. We aren't using that one enough to make fun of Dave, you know. So
wow.
On that note, thanks to everyone. We'll see you in the after party, 5-10 minutes. And yeah, don't forget, everybody, think for yourselves.